Okay, so let's talk about delivery. Here are some tips. First is this is going to be something that maybe you have never done before, especially if you're not in sales full time. Sales is a muscle memory sport, and so you really need to practice. If you've not practiced this, expecting for this to come out in a way that makes sense and creates impact for the seller is you're you're playing a low probability game. You may be able to do it. You may be one of those people who can just instantly like absorb this stuff, but I'm not like that, and so it has always served me very very well to come in and practice. And the way that you do that is you've got to get real feedback. So you got to record yourself. Uh, Even better, record yourself with a friend role playing it. The role playing is really, really powerful. But if you don't have that, just record it. Lots of different ways to do it. All the iPhones come with a little recording app. You can do it all sorts of different ways. So that's number one. That'll help a lot. Number two, most of your communication is in your body language, your tone, how you look. And so you want to dress slightly better than the person that you're going to go visit. These are all like sales 101 stuff. So dress slightly better. You want to speak from your diaphragm. You want to be relaxed. You want to be a person who they could visualize running your company. In fact, you want to position yourself so that they would want to hire you to be their CEO. If you can get to the point where they would want to hire you to be the CEO, then what's going to happen is, number one, they're going to envy you, which is going to they're going to want to like learn more about you and to bring you into the stuff that they're thinking about. There's going to be an attraction there. So number two is that they're going to know that their employees are going to be safe with you and they're going to be well taken care of. And so keep the employees safe because they care about those people. You know, if you've worked with somebody for 20 years, you don't want them to get fired the next day. And then the other piece is too, they've got, somebody who's owned a business for 20 or 30 years too, they've got their legacy tied up in it. Like their egos involved in it. And so if you can help them visualize a future where this business is going to continue to be in this community and provide jobs, and it's going to be a positive factor for this area, it'll make them feel good. The other thing that I don't know this for certain, but I bet just knowing a lot of the people that I've talked to who are in smaller towns is like in small towns, just everybody's got an opinion on something. And so if there are ever layoffs because you sold your business and you still live in that area, that seller's got to deal with all those people who are going to be, they're all going to have a negative opinion about the seller selling his company and the buyer moving it to China or whatever. So you being able to address some of those things is important. And a lot of the way that you address it is through coming across as somebody who has his act together. So I told you to record this. You should know your script so well that you can deviate from it when necessary. You want to be able to like have the script, know it cold, and then throw it out so that you can begin to listen. Whenever the seller is talking to you about their hopes and dreams and fears and concerns and what they would like to get out of a deal, you want to have the message so deeply embedded in you that it comes out at the right time. It doesn't come across as unnatural or rehearsed. And just you will find moments where you need to, instead of saying your spiel, you say, hey, tell me, you said that, tell me more about what you meant, and invite them in to tell you more, because those are the moments that are really, really key. You'll learn things that you can use to drive a better negotiation and give them more of what they want. At the end of the day, what we really need to do is get to a place where we can give them what they really want in a way that works for us. So then the last tips are the first many times that you do this, especially if you don't come from a sales background. If you're just trying to do this cold, a lot of people will have fear. And this is the advice that I'll give you, because I used to work at a brokerage and I made like thousands and thousands, like probably tens of thousands of cold calls. And I was probably the most timid person ever to work at in this brokerage. And so I had a lot of fear. One of the things that helped me was, being thankful. The present, whenever you're thankful, it's really difficult to be afraid. Being curious. This plays to me naturally because I'm naturally curious about people, and I like to listen to their stories. And so anytime that you're curious, it helps dispel some of that fear. And if you can couch some of these points, these things that you want to communicate in a story, it'll help you remember it. And once you feel comfortable that you can remember that story, it's like a lot of the anxiety kind of goes away. And so thinking about how you can mix those stories in, have those ready on the cuff is important. And then just biologically, whenever you talk louder and you speak from your diaphragm, from your, it's your low, right below your belly button, it creates just like, I don't know what the term is, your neurobiology makes you more confident. There's these studies, I don't know if you guys have probably seen them, but they tested this with female executives, and they had them stand in a power position like this, arms out, kind of like making a bit, almost like a cross with your arms, getting real wide, and staying in that position for like 30 seconds. And they measured a control group. And what they found out is the people who get in a position physically that is confident, that feels confident, they actually feel more confident going throughout the day. And they had better meetings. And so whenever you're in a position of feeling happy, or anger is actually a positive emotion. It's whenever it's an emotion where you're moving forward. That's the state that you've got to be in, because you've got to move forward into their questions, and you've got to move forward into being able to make sure that you've communicated exactly what you want to communicate. If there's an aggression there that you got to have, whether it's through being happy, or some people do it different ways by being kind of intense and sort of angry. But those are some tips. And then finally, if none of that works, there's a trick that I learned from the Navy SEALs, and it's a 4-4 pattern breathing. Breathe in 4 seconds, and then breathe out for 4 seconds, and repeat that, and count those in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you do that 4, 5 times, and it'll control your heartbeat. And I will butcher it if I try to explain what's going on with that, but you can Google that, and it's real. So that's how you can control your emotions and make sure that you deliver effectively, because at the end of the day, you've got to deliver with confidence.